Good afternoon, everyone. That wasn't bad. Well done. I don't even have to ask you to do it again. I am so excited to be here in Southfield this afternoon on this absolutely gorgeous day in November to celebrate a new collaboration between the county and our Oakland County Parks and Recreation Committee and the communities here in the, I'd say, mid to south end of Oakland County that are going to benefit from an infusion of more than $20 million in federal and county funds. It's a... I have to tell you, I've been telling this story to a couple people today, but I first ran for the county commission in 2002, and I was successful. And one of the three issues I ran on was we need more parks services in the southern end of the county where more people live. And what I was told when I got elected and I got up there is, well, you know, the Parks and Rec system in Oakland County was designed primarily to preserve large tracts of land because development is happening so fast, and we want to make sure we preserve these large tracts of land. And I get that. And as a result, we have incredible parks like Madison Oaks, all right, and Independence Oaks and Waterford Oaks and a lot of wonderful sort of rural parks. But I kept asking the question, why can't we do both? Why can't we have more parks and rec services closer to where people are at, in addition to the large parks that we've been able to preserve and maintain? And I think that we can. Actually, I think our parks and rec system is a crown jewel in Oakland County, and it really is. And Chris Ward, where is Chris?
Right over there.
Oh, there he is. Chris, you need to come up here with us because Chris Ward is the executive director of Parks and Rec. Relatively new guy, but he's really leaned into this mission of making sure that our Parks and Rec services are equitable across the county. This isn't about not doing things in other parts of the county, but it's making sure that we do things everywhere. So it's a crown jewel. We have over 100 miles of trails in our system, 5 golf courses. By the way, this used to be a golf course, and wait till you hear about how that came around. But we have campgrounds, we have ORV parks, right? And I love that. But I think there's so much more that we can do for the 1.3 million visitors that they get every year. Because, like I said, most of them live sort of in the southern half, M59-ish south. And that's what this project is all about. So this project that's being announced today, this $20 million, is going to add or improve to 10 parks in the county's south end. I think it's the most significant purchase of parkland or investment in parks that we've made in decades. And I think, like I said, it's going to provide more equitable access in our more densely areas, especially for people who don't have access to transportation. By the way, vote yes next week. We also unveiled earlier this year 8 county goals. The vision for Oakland County for the next 5 to 10 years. What do we really want to make sure that we're doing right in order to make sure this is a county that continues to be a place that people gravitate to, want to live in and work in? And I want to point out 3 of them. One of those goals is walkable neighborhoods and environmental sustainability. So these parks in places like Southfield and Pontiac, Oak Park, Madison Heights, Hazel Park, Royal Oak Township are near where people live and will be oases for thousands and thousands of families who are looking for a little recreation. Number 2, healthy residents. I think we all have seen, especially during COVID, the importance of parks and recreation services to our health, both our physical health and our mental health, frankly. I feel better just being out here on this beautiful day. And then finally, one of our 8 goals is a thriving and inclusive economy. And I want to point that out because one of the reasons that people decide to make Oakland County their home is because of the quality of life here. And there's no question in my mind that parks and recreation services and trails and the like add to the quality of life and attract people to Oakland County. So I couldn't be more excited to be here to announce this investment. Other folks are going to talk to you a lot more about the details of this project, but I just want to thank you all for coming out and thank the good Lord for such a beautiful day. So is our chairman here yet? No, all right, so that's okay because the next speaker I want to bring up is Gary McGilvery. He has been a longtime county commissioner, but he's also now the board president of the chair of the Parks and Rec Board, a longtime advocate for parks and for a more equitable investment in parks. So without further ado, Gary McGilvery.
Hi, first I want to welcome all of you and thank you for coming out on this beautiful day.
We couldn't have picked a better day. The public has turned out in record numbers to use our parks and trailways during this pandemic to enjoy the positive impacts of spending time outdoors and having the physical exercise and mental well-being. I'd like to also thank our Parks Director, Chris Ward, and all of his amazing staff who have worked so hard for quite a while here trying to pull this plan together. It's not just one park here, but it includes a lot of parks throughout Oakland County, southern Oakland County, and that's what we've all been trying to do. We appreciate all the support from Executive Coulter as well as all the Board of Commissioners. With their support, we will be able to move forward with this plan. It's a major financial commitment thanks to federal government giving us a loan with the ARP funding. And this is going to be a great thing for all of, particularly southern Oakland County, but all Oakland County. We all know that most people, when they go to parks to use it with their family, they might travel 10 to 15 miles. Well, all the parks seem to be up on the north end. So we wanted to get more down here. We've been working at it for 10 plus years. I'm a county commissioner as well as chairman of the Parks Commission. And we've been trying to do that since Dave Coulter was with me on the Board of Commissioners. So finally got to accomplish that, and this will pay dividends to all of the generations to come. So thank you. I just want to also acknowledge some of the folks that are here. From Madison Heights, we have Mayor Grafstein. Oh, okay. Melissa Marsh, the city manager. Hazel Park is Ed Klobuchar, he's the city manager. And I don't know all you folks, so Royal Oak Township is represented. Oak Park, Marion McClellan, the mayor. Anybody I missed? Ken Silver, Southfield. Back to the mic so they can Tim over in Pontiac. I mentioned Ed Klobuchar. Tim Grimel, mayor of Pontiac. We're really, really excited that we can help benefit all of these communities with this RAP funding, and we're excited about moving forward on this. Hopefully we can get it done in 6 months, right, Chris? But it's going to take a little bit of time to get it all together, but we will do it, and it'll be a great thing for Oakland County. Next, I have to introduce Dr. Nancy Quarles. She's on our Parks and Recreation Board, and she's also an Oakland County Road Commissioner and a former Oakland County Commissioner. Nancy?
Good evening, good afternoon on this wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Like many who spoke before me, this is a great project. Really looking forward. One of the things that it will do, and we know that is well needed, as mentioned by our chair of the Parks and Rec, it brings equality. It brings more equality to the southern end of Oakland County. And outdoor recreations are important. This is a great, great investment in the quality of life for the residents, not only on this end, but the attraction will bring others into this end, and we'll see more economic vitality. As we all know, all residents of Oakland County deserves and should be able to access and have the quality of safe and well-maintained parks and recreation facilities. And this project addresses that. It addresses it so that those of African Americans and people of color, those who may have a challenge with moving around or struggling with poverty, will have access to parks close by. And one of the other things that we're looking at, that Oakland County Parks is playing a major role in the cities on this end, Southfield, other cities in southeast Michigan, and to bring more parks, more facilities for those who need them, especially those who have inabilities to move around. Senior citizens will have activities, and they bring more activities for our youth. So all in all, this is wonderful, and it's long overdue, and we really work this project. And I'd like to introduce Commissioner Janet Jackson.
Oakland's history and will dramatically increase access for residents. Oakland County Parks and Recreation and the City of Southfield plan to work together for the benefit of residents of our community and region, operating neighboring and complementary park facilities. Oakland County Parks will take a lead role in restoring the former golf course property to create a nature-centered park with walking trails and plenty of opportunities for friends and family to come together and enjoy the outdoors. This area is planned to become Southfield Oaks. The city will continue to operate. Southfield Oaks is where we are. The city will continue to operate Beech Woods Park as a neighboring park, including the community center behind us, driving range, tennis courts, and play areas. Grant funding will support the City of Southfield's plans to develop a splash pad, playground, and new entryway that will be jointly shared. So now, without further ado, let me introduce our Honorable Mayor, Dr. Kenson Siver, and thank him for the support of the city for these plans that will make sure to make a big difference for the residents and of the community and region. Dr. Siver, Mayor Siver.
Thank you, Janet. Welcome everyone to the great city of Southfield on a very beautiful afternoon. And what a gorgeous piece of property this is. If you look around, I know still we have golf carts for anybody that wanted to take a drive around. Personally, I prefer to walk, and it's a great walk on the loop here. I do want to introduce first part of my team, our council person Nancy Banks, Council President Pro Tem Ari Mandelbaum, Councilman Dan Brightwell, City Administrator Fred Zorn, and our Parks and Rec Director Terry Fields. We take a lot of credit for this, but actually it's the work of our staff that makes this happen. So I'm very grateful that we're here today to acknowledge all of this work. Those of you that know me know that I talk a lot about adaptive reuse, that we create things for one purpose, times and tastes change, and so what do? This country has a terrible history of throwing things away. And so here we are today, and a lot of times I talk about adaptive reuse and saving and repurposing buildings, but here's an example. This was a city golf course, and we found that the city of Southfield, participation in golf kind of waves, it comes and goes, and the city could not afford to maintain two golf courses. We had a subsidy to keep two courses open. This one needed a new irrigation system. We've got way down part of the floodplain of the Rouge River would flow over on the course from time to time. So there were a number of issues here, and we decided that we would find a way to repurpose this park. A plan was done, and the plan came to nearly $14 million. And it will include a walking trail, a splash pad, more picnic areas, children's play areas, and so on. And we didn't have the money to pay for that. So we're figuring out, we've got a great plan, but how are we going to execute it? So this is a step for us to make this plan happen. I really have to, and everything that Executive Director Coulter has said is absolutely true. For years I felt the same way. I loved going to North Oakland when I could to use those parks, but why don't we have this here? So I really appreciate the Parks and Rec Board, the Oakland County Parks and Rec Board, as well as leadership of our county executive in turning these resources southward, where again the majority of the population lives. So once again, we're greatly appreciative of all of you for being here, but also for your support of this. I do want to say one last thing. The building behind you was an ice arena. We didn't have as much use or demand for ice. So adaptive reuse, once again, it is now basketball and heavily used. And we've just finished putting $3 million into total renovation of this building and the parking lot. So we do have something at stake here. We're not looking for handouts. We're looking for partnerships. So again, thank you very much. And my last thing is to introduce Angela Powell, who's a county commissioner representing Pontiac. Angela, you're welcome.
Hello, everybody. So, this is well overdue for the city of Pontiac. I don't know if y'all know the history, but Oakland County and the relationship with the city of Pontiac has come a long way. So, thank you, David Coulter, our executive. Thank you, Chris Ward, for envisioning this vision, because it was well overdue and needed for the city of Pontiac. Now, I'm going to get to my talking points. So, Oakland County Commissioner Angela Powell, Oakland County Parks and the City of Pontiac are working together on a plan to improve Hawthorne Park in our city. The 77-acre site will transition into a county park under an agreement with the city. Working together, the city and the county will address priority infrastructure needs and develop improvement that will enhance the experience of guests. Plans include walking trails, restroom facility, fishing and boating, disc golf, and more. Grant funding will support the recreation needs throughout the city. So, that is what's going to happen with our wonderful Hawthorne Park in the city of Pontiac. And I would love to bring up my friend and our current mayor, Tim Grimel, and I thank you for your leadership for moving this project forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is really a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here with all of you today. We are so excited about this opportunity to partner with Oakland County Parks. And Pontiac perhaps is the exception to the general theme here of investing in southern Oakland County. Pontiac really is in the middle, right in the heart of the county. But it is similar in many respects to the communities in southern Oakland County. Although the Parks millage is levied throughout the entirety of the county, historically it was rural townships that disproportionately benefited from investment in parks, as the county focused on large tracts of land. That really meant, as a practical matter, that it was more rural areas, mostly townships, that benefited from those investments. And I'm thrilled that the county, under the leadership of Dave Coulter and the Parks Commission under Chris Ward's leadership, have decided that it's time to invest in older, more central cities that tend to be more densely populated. And this investment in Hawthorne Park that was described by Commissioner Powell is a really exciting example of that. We, as residents of Pontiac, are just thrilled that the county is making this investment in where people actually live. And so we're excited about the partnership. Yes, it still has to go before City Council. Yes, the actual partnership agreement has to be signed and approved. But I'm sure that City Council is going to approve it. They are every bit as excited and thrilled about this as I am, and I know that the residents in Pontiac, most importantly, are excited that the county is making this investment in parks and recreation opportunities where people in our county live. So many thanks to all of the county commissioners, all of the parks commissioners, to you, County Executive Coulter, for your leadership, and you, Chris, for your leadership. We're just absolutely thrilled about this long overdue investment in our central cities and densely populated areas. Many thanks. I also, of course, want to bring up the next speaker, who represents Royal Oak Township, Oak Park, much of Southfield, and Lathrop Village, and that is Commissioner Yolanda Smith-Charles. Commissioner?
Thank you, Mayor Grimo, and good afternoon to all of you. My name is Yolanda Smith-Charles, Commissioner representing the cities he just referred to, so I will not repeat those. However, Oakland County Parks, it's important to know, as well as the city of Oak Park, are working together to improve Shepherd Park. Raise your hand if you've been to Shepherd Park before. Just checking. And that is in the beautiful city of Oak Park, and I want to make sure to acknowledge their beautiful mayor, Marion McClellan, as well as Lori Stasiak and Crystal Van Black, who are also a part of the team. And then I wanted to also mention Donna Squalls, as mentioned before, who is our township supervisor in the township of Royal Oak Township. She's also here with Donovan Jackson, as well as Lawrence Cochran. So we're a happy family because of this new project here. So the wooded area that I'm referring to as Shepherd Park is one of the largest in southeast Oakland County, and it is also a unique asset that can be enjoyed by residents from pretty much all over the region. Oakland County Parks will focus on the woods and the nature portion, and the city will operate the balance of Shepherd Park, including the community center, the pool, ice rink, athletic fields. The county will continue to work with their walking trails, playgrounds, and outdoor facilities for the community events and family gatherings. So we're super excited. I do walk my dog Bella over at Shepherd, so we'll be looking forward to getting over there and monitoring all of the progress. And with that, I'm actually going to make sure to mention that grant funding will support the city's renovation plans. That's very important, not general fund. So with that, I'd like to introduce Manager Eric Tungate, who is coming on up, and thank you for your leadership in the park area of recreation and for your support of this partnership.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I have a bunch of thank yous to throw out, but before I do, I want to say a couple of things. As the Commissioner Charles mentioned, for quite some time, we have noticed in our city of Oak Park that we have a deficiency of parks and recreation amenities available to our residents. And a year ago, we started a process to rewrite our Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Of course, in the middle of that process, which we're still kind of in, we were approached with this opportunity to, as Commissioner Charles mentioned, reconfigure Shepherd Park, which is our crown jewel in the city of Oak Park, in the center of the city. And this assistance will allow us to seek additional funding and do some of the projects that have been denoted by our residents that have been lacking for quite some time. So we're very, very excited about that. I do want to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Mary McClellan, who is here with me, to thank, as was mentioned, some of my staff members here, Crystal Van Vleck, Lori Stasiak. I want to thank the Parks and Recreation County staff for all of your hard work. I want to thank the Parks and Recreation Commission. Thank you so much. I want to thank the county executive and staff from Oakland County. And most importantly in this journey, I want to thank Chris Ward for his dedication and leadership throughout this process. He has done a magnificent job in recognizing the need for additional parks and recreation amenities in South Oakland County. With that, I have the distinction and honor to welcome back up County Executive Dave Coulter.
All right. You've been introduced to a lot of people, but I noticed there's three people that I think also deserve recognition. Gwen Markham, the county commissioner from Novi, is here, been a strong supporter of the parks. Marcia Gershenson, the vice chair of the board. Did she leave? Oh, she left. All right, then we won't mention her. No, I'm kidding. Love Marcia, and she's been a strong advocate. And I don't know what happened to Dave Woodward, but he has also been a driver behind this project. So, Dave, wherever you are, thank you. So with that, it is technically a press conference as well. So I'll open it up to questions. If there's any questions of me or of any of our speakers or any of the folks here today, this would be your opportunity to do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, you know, when you do a list, you're going to forget somebody. And there has been no stronger advocate for the environment and sustainability in our county for the last 2 decades than our Water Resource Commissioner, Jim Nash. And Jim, I apologize that I didn't recognize you. Angie's got your back. But thank you for being here. All right, I don't see any questions. So with that, oh, yeah, we got a question back here.
How did all these people find out about this meeting? I live across the street. I had no idea that this was going on.
Well, it's not. We're happy that you're here, sir. We really are. It's not technically a public meeting. It's a press conference that we put together for the media where we're talking about a proposal. So it wasn't a community meeting per se, but thank you for being here. Is there a question up here?
Yeah. When is the project going to start?
Well, when you say the project, it's actually 10 different projects, right? So Chris Ward, maybe I'm going to ask you because I know there's 10 different timelines and they can all move, but...
Thanks, Executive. Thank you for your support. I think we have a lot of work ahead, and we're looking forward to taking it on. I can't give you a really firm date, but I would say we definitely need to get these projects completed in the next 3 years, according to the federal guidelines, but we hope to get them well underway well before then. Yeah. So hopefully next year or two, you'll start to see some shovels in the ground and work being accomplished.
And as Chris said, we are using ARP, American Rescue Plan dollars for this, so we have to spend this money. And we have to allocate it by the end of 2024 and spend it by the end of 2026. So that's the absolute maximum. I noticed there's a flag out here. Anybody got a 9-iron? Oh, we're not doing that here anymore. All right. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Are you all still seeking additional funds to add to this project?
Ooh, now, see, don't get them excited, okay? It's a lot of money, and technically, we've spent. I'll share this with you. We got about $224 million in ARP funding. We've got about $80 million of it left. We've actually been spending it at a pretty good clip. This is a $20 million project, so it's unlikely that additional funds would come from ARP dollars. But obviously, I think you can hear the passion and the interest of people at this press conference who say, where there's ways that we can lean in with county support to help enhance these parks, we're open to that as well. But I think as far as ARP dollars, this is the commitment. Yeah. Do you want to add to that or
No, just
okay.
more state and federal money.
Oh yeah. So that's a great point because one of the things that these partnerships allow us to do when the county partners with the city, the state and federal recreation grants, they like that. They like partnerships. We believe that this partnership between the county and the communities is going to leverage additional grant funding that we will be seeking for these and other projects. So thanks, Chris, for mentioning that.